Ready?
I'm so ready.
She's so ready, guys, and it is Thursday. Did you guys know that it's Thursday? If not, well, it's Thursday, and we are already thinking about next week's comic, which is crazy, because my pile of comics is still over there, and we got so many to read, but that's okay. We're already thinking about next week, because we want to give you guys a jump start on what you guys should be excited about next week. So we have the top 10 books that you guys should be picking up or adding to your pull list right after this.
Pull list.
Is that what I said? Yes. What's up, comic book fans? My name is Bruce Moreau.
And I am Stephanie.
What's up, comic book fans? My name is Bruce.
And I am Stephanie.
Guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another top 10 must pickups for next week's new comic book day. It's an exciting show where we tell you guys what books you guys should be adding to your pull list. And we have 10, that's right. We pull 10 books each and every single week. Yeah, they're just books that we think are really awesome. We're either reading them currently, like, you know, Batman and stuff like that, or the books that are new number ones that we think are really exciting, like this Shadow Service number 1. Looks really cool.
You're already giving it all away, Bruce.
Oh my god, I'm ruining it already.
They want to know in detail what they should be picking up.
All right, well, we'll give you guys in detail right after this. When you guys look down, are you guys subscribed to the channel? No, then what are you doing? Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell notification, so that way you guys are notified when we upload new content to the channel. And what else?
Also, we go live every Friday night on Comics and Beer, which, I mean, the name alone should have you being like, Comics and Beer? I want to be a part of that. And you should, because every Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, Bruce and I pick some beers, pick some comic book related news to talk about, drink, and then tell you about everything related to comic book news, comic book movies, comic book TV shows, and beer, which is my most favorite part of the whole night.
It's such a good time. We also do some trivia that will get you guys entries into our big end of the month giveaway, which is coming up in a few weeks, and it's always a great time. So make sure you guys tune in for that. The only thing left to do is what?
I don't know.
Smash that
like button. Just kidding, I knew it!
All right, guys, let's jump into the top 10 must pick up books for August 19th, 2020. All right, guys, in no particular order, we're going to talk about 10 different books, and the first book that we're going to talk about is Avengers number 35. This is written by Jason Aaron. Jason Aaron's been writing on the book since issue number 1, and there's been ups and downs of goods and bads, but this is one of the better story arcs. We see Moon Knight, all super powered up somehow, stealing the powers from big people in the Avengers. And Iron Fist, I don't think is an Avenger, but he stole Iron Fist power. And there's some cool stuff happening. And Jason Aaron did tweet or Instagram that there is a big event spinning out of this, so that's pretty cool. But Stephanie, since this is not one of the books you are reading, just based on the cover, what do you think?
I don't find the Avengers very exciting, in my opinion, because the only Avengers knowledge I have is the Avengers movies, and I think those are kind of whack.
Oh, wickedy whack.
So, that being said, the art looks really actually pretty interesting on this. When I first saw it, I thought that it was like a Werther Daldera drawing, with kind of has a something is killing the children look to it, the way the lines and everything is colored. So I was like, oh, what's this about? But I mean, it's issue 35. I can't tell you to jump in at this point. That seems silly, but if you are reading it, keep reading it.
It's definitely a cool story. I like it. But yeah, it's a pretty cool book. It's our first book on our top 10 list, and we think you guys should be picking it up. So let's jump into the next book. All right, guys, the next book up on the list is Spider-Woman, issue number 3. We're picking this up because Stephanie, she read issue number 1. She hasn't caught up on issue number 2 yet, but she liked it. And we're both big fans of Jessica Drew. We think she's a great character. I think this is, the second book was terrible. It was so bad, so out of character for Jessica Drew. But I'm giving the run a chance because I love the character of Jessica Drew so much. I'm excited to, I have hopes that this can come back to the Dennis, I believe it's Dennis Hopeless run on Spider-Woman. I thought that was like one of the best runs for a female character, in my opinion. But there are 2 covers on this. Stephanie, based on the issue number 1 and the 2 covers that you see, what do you think? Should people be picking this series up?
I do think you should be picking this series up. I actually enjoyed the first Spider-Woman book. I know that the second one came out and Bruce gave it a bunch of crap, and I know that on our Friday night live stream, Comic Book Poser was like, don't listen to him, it was great. So I'm gonna go with his opinion. I think this is one of those situations where Bruce got wrapped up in Jessica Drew's character, and now that she's acting out of character, he's like, no, she would never do that, and he's mad. But for someone who loves Elseworld tales, you think he would jump on board. I'm interested to see where it's going to go. So yes, pick it up.
And what do you think about these two covers? I mean, she's zapping a Triceratops. Where the hell did a Triceratops come from?
And then she's catching a sword with someone. Both those are pretty cool. I guess like a samurai ninja and then...
that is the Silver Samurai.
Silver Samurai. Apparently he's a guy. And is the Triceratops also a guy that I don't know about?
Maybe. I don't know.
I do like the Triceratops cover better. I like her in the black Spider-Woman costume. It's more bad butt, so...
Bad butt.
Bad butt. Trying not to curse. It's my New Year's resolution.
All right, guys, so that's our number 2 book, which is Spider-Woman number 3. Make sure you guys are picking that up. Let's find out what the third book is. All right, guys, the third book on this list is an obvious one. If you're not picking up Thor already, where have you been? Good luck on finding those issues because they are super expensive at this point. But yes, Thor number 6, written by Donny Cates, has been an absolute blast. It is such a great book, really well done. Stephanie's read the first 4. She is 1 issue behind, but she will contest that it is a great, great book.
I will agree with Bruce on this one, guys. When I went through the top 10, or the 10 that Bruce has pulled together for what you should pick up, there was a lot on here that I was like, you should, which is very different from last week where I was like... So yeah, Thor, Donny Cates has been awesome. If you watched our Get It Right or Pay the Price video, I got wrong that Darkseid, who Darkseid was, but Darkseid is in this. Right? Galactus, not Darkseid. Excuse me. I got both those wrong. So either one, but Galactus, eating planets, awesome. Everything about it was awesome. And I've never read Thor before, so I'm all on board. I know that Thor is one of Bruce's favorite
That's so good.
characters, so pick it up.
So what about these covers? I mean, there's lots of covers. I only pulled like 3 or 4.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's really cool. Also, really cool. All these, awesome. I didn't enjoy the first one Bruce picked. I'm assuming he's going to show them to you on the bottom of the screen. But they do like a very dark-looking Thor where he's like...
He's Black Winter.
Evil and all like cool colors of purple and dark pink behind him. And they did a really good job with the coloring on these. So
would you pay $150 for that last one?
This one?
No, keep going.
This one?
No, that one.
No, if anything, that one was the worst one out of all of them.
$150 for that last one, which is crazy. I'm not spending that much money for a $4.99 comic. Bananas.
I think this one would be my favorite, and I still wouldn't pay $150 for it. But no, the one that is actually $150, that was the worst one of all of them.
So we both agree that you guys should definitely be picking up Thor number 6, but don't pay $150 for the cover. That is bananas.
That is bananas, especially unless it's going to be worth $500 next week. Like
probably not.
No.
All right, guys, let's jump into number 5.
Number 5.
So this has actually been a surprising big week for Marvel. There's 5 books that we are suggesting that you guys should be picking up. And Marvel's been like kind of pulling back on a lot of their books. And yeah, there's actually a lot of good books this week. And the last one, number 4, is Wolverine, number 4. This book has been a surprise to me. I really enjoy the character Wolverine. And the last couple times he's been written, I just really haven't enjoyed the story. But this has been a really engaging story, and I really, really enjoy it. And Stephanie's not read. I wish she read.
I wrote it. Guys, I wrote this book.
That'd be awesome if she did. But no, she read the first issue. She definitely enjoyed it, right?
I did. I did enjoy the first issue. And you guys know, if you watch the channel, I'm not a big fan of Marvel or DC comic books. I prefer indies. I kind of am like, had it up to here with the same old superheroes. If you watch us tonight on Comic Book Posers debate, we get to argue about why I think, even more so, why I think they're annoying. But there has been a couple that have really been pulling me in, and this is one of them that I'm interested to read, and they did a very good job writing, so... Yeah,
they're good character stories, because there's Wolverine, but there's another character in it. His name is... It's not there. It's not in my head. But he's a really cool FBI character, and it's cool that seeing a human inside of a Wolverine book is making such a presence in that issue, or in that story, which is really cool. So, but this cover we get Omega Red and Wolverine fighting each other, so that's cool. And what do you think about the issues or the cover?
I think this cover's pretty cool. I guess he's like underwater being pulled down by something, it looks like, or is that Omega Red's little wires?
Yeah, he has like things that come out of his arms.
There's so many characters I know nothing about. I would have thought this was Sabretooth if I had to guess who that was.
No, it's Omega Red. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, right?
Yeah, he's underwater, frozen, trying to escape while also being strangled.
And there's also a secret variant. And when these secret variants are usually polybagged, and you can't see it until you open the bag and you pull it out. It's like, oh, it's a secret!
Oh my god!
So hopefully Chuck at Cosmic Comics and Games gets me one of those because I requested it, but we'll see. Because I wanted the secret.
Secretly, it's a secret.
So we think you guys should be picking up Wolverine number 4, and let's jump in to number 6. All right, guys, next week we get Batman number 97. This is written by James Tynion, and this book has been incredible. And it's also drawn by Jorge Jimenez. And Stephanie, do I like Jorge Jimenez?
He has a Jorge Jimenez tattoo.
I do. Across my nipples. Nipple to nipple, Jorge Jimenez.
Just like script. This is one of his signatures.
But it is. It's crazy. But the Joker War has been super fun. It has been such a fun ride. It's not like my favorite story of Batman ever, but it's just so enjoyable. And Jorge Jimenez's art is just selling it. It's crazy. It's so good. I'm excited. Some of the characters that James Tynion has created, like the Clown Hunter, is so freaking cool. I love his take on Harley Quinn. This Punchline character, I hope Harley gives it to her real good. But it's just a great book. I mean, you guys should definitely be reading it if you're not reading it. And Stephanie, what do you think about these covers? Because again, this is one of those books that she has not been reading. She's not a big Batman fan. For what she's read, she's gonna get there. She's gonna get there, guys. Don't worry. She's gonna be a Batman fan after a little while. But based on these covers, knowing that he is fighting the Joker for Gotham City, let me know.
All right, I will make sure that Bruce puts this exact cover that I'm gonna talk about right now on the screen as I talk about it. If you watched last week when we talked about the 10 or 9 comic books we thought you should pick up, I went on a little bit of a rant of how I think it's so dumb that they just keep remaking the same characters in different worlds, the Elseworld tales, and I don't approve of them. I think it's... I'll save my rant for another time. But knowing that James Tynion's writing this, who I love, and Jorge Jimenez is drawing it, which is amazing, and I didn't even read who was drawing it, and I saw this cover, and I was like, okay, generally I think Batman, Joker, lame sauce. This is awesome. It looks almost like the Joker's dead and has these really cool eyes and like a vampire kind of. This would pull me in. If this was a number 1, I'd probably read it. I'm not going to read issue number 97. I might be a little behind, but the cover itself, and it's Jorge Jimenez and James Tynion.
Pick it up, right?
You have to pick it up.
You have to pick it up. This is one
I don't think you could probably go back and get all these issues, all 97 of them.
You could probably get, well, you'd only need to pick up from 86 up until now.
But isn't that, they introduced Punchline and then like, people went crazy over those books?
Yeah, but you can find those.
Right. So maybe you can. Maybe you can pick up this arc and read it, and yeah.
You'll enjoy it.
You'll enjoy it.
Because it's amazing.
According to Bruce, it's amazing.
It's so good.
It looks cool. I would pick it up.
She would. All right, guys, let's move into the number 7 book. All right, guys, the number 7 book, we're talking about Death Metal. That's right. But it's not Death Metal issue 4. No, this is Death Metal, the guidebook. The reason why I put this on the list is because there are a lot of great writers that are writing little mini stories inside of, I'm sure it's going to be an oversized issue. And some of those are Chip Zdarsky. Chip Zdarsky is writing Daredevil. He's over at Marvel right now, so it's kind of cool to see him writing a DC book or a DC story. I'm excited to see him. Christopher Priest is in this. Scott Snyder, James Tynion, Joshua Williams all have little stories in this. I think I missed 2 or 3 writers on this. So this is going to be a big book that tells little stories to get us all caught up on what has happened before Death Metal actually started. So Gotham City and the world has completely changed, and there was a big leap in time when at the start of Death Metal number 1. So this is going to get us caught up. So I'm really excited to get caught up. I'm really excited to read all these stories. But based on the cover and hearing the names of the writers in the book, Stephanie, what do you think?
The writers are intriguing. As I ranted last week, I think the premise of this book is silly. I think that the fact that they keep making Batman in different universes is silly. There's a lot of things I think are silly about this. A guidebook coming out 4 issues after the book has been running. This should have been the first thing, or a lead up to the first book where it explained where you were going to be going before you started reading, so you don't have to spend 4 issues going, what? And now you get to figure out what's going on. It also kind of reminds me of House of X and Powers of X, where they would insert like 1 page and then it would kind of tell you everything, which I felt really dumb and really threw off the story for me. So in general, I would not pick up this book.
Jonathan Hickman, take notes. All right, guys, but I think it's really cool. I'm excited for it, and these covers are actually really dope. So I am excited for this, and I'm been loving Death Metal. I can't wait to read issue number 3, which was right over there. I'm gonna do that later today. But let's jump into not issue number 8, book number 8 that we think you should be picking up next week.
All right, guys, number 8 on our list. I put down my little tablet so I could use my hands to show my excitement for the next issue of Wonder Woman Dead Earth. Number 4, according to Bruce, the finale, guys.
I think it is. I think.
He thinks it's the finale.
I'll confirm down here somewhere, don't worry.
I like DC Black Label books to begin with. All that I've read so far, I've enjoyed very much. Except for that one with the Joker.
The
Joker smile or
Killer
whatever.
Smile.
Killer Smile. I didn't enjoy that. But, that being said, I like Wonder Woman. I think she's a cool character. They go somewhere in a different direction than any Wonder Woman I know of.
Wasn't she just saying she doesn't like Elseworlds Tales? But this is an Elseworlds Tale.
But I never read any of the other Wonder Woman, so that doesn't count. This is the only Wonder Woman for me. She will forever be in this world. Point is, the story is amazing.
So good.
The art is amazing. I don't like that they draw her face. It's kind of like a mushed, weird child face. But other than that, so good. You don't even have to have read anything else to be able to follow it. They do a great job explaining what everything is going on, getting emotionally invested in the characters.
So good.
It's only 4 books, but I'm in. I'm in it to win it. Pick it up.
Yeah, guys, this is in that bigger prestige format, so you actually get more pages. So it is like, and it's also $6.99, so you're paying a little bit premium for this book, but guys, it is so, so good. In the last issue, I'm gonna spoil something. She finds Superman's corpse, takes the spine out of his corpse, and puts her lasso of truth through it, and she uses it as a weapon. What?
So bad.
It's
so bad, but
so,
again, I will not curse.
So bad, but as Stephanie says, you guys should definitely be picking up this book. It is so worth every penny. It is such a great book. And yeah, let's move into the ninth book that you guys should be picking up next week. So it turns out we don't know how to count, and somehow along the lines I skipped a number. So this is the 8th book. This right here is the 8th book that you guys should be picking up next week. And we're into our indies, which we're really excited about. And we're going to talk about one that Stephanie does not like first. Yay! And that is Once in Future, number 10. I've been on and off on this book. I'm going to stay on this for at least probably 5 or 6 more issues, maybe up to issue 20. I'll get to 20 issues. But it's been getting slowly better and better over time, and overall, I like the general story of like this guy being a descendant of King Arthur, and yeah, just wacky, and there's witches and wizards and people coming back from the dead. It's just overall kind of a cool story. The writing is poor sometimes, but overall, the art by Dan Mora is really good. The art is great in this book. But based on this cover, based on I think she's read 5 or 6 issues, what would you tell the people?
So this cover is very cool looking. If I didn't know it was Once in Future, I'd be like, ooh, what's this? But now that I know it's Once in Future, I'm like, oh, who cares?
Who cares?
I did read the first 5 or 6 issues. It was the worst paced book out of any comic book I've read. They apparently tried to rush through it, I guess. Maybe they didn't think that they were going to be doing an ongoing comic book, and so they shoved a ton of information, just like cutscene after cutscene of mishmash. It was as if I were to edit a comic book, and I'm like, oh, and then this page, and then I'm gonna skip. It was like those books you used to read when you were a kid where you could choose your own story, and you're like, if you want to go into the cave, go to page 27, and if you'd like to go there, and then you turn to page 27, and it was like, you're dead. That's what it felt like reading Once in Future. Very confusing, very all over the place. The whole time reading, I'm like, what? And I kept expecting it to get better. Bruce swears they slowed it down. Maybe they realized they have some time and it gets better. But I have so much other stuff to read that to go back to this that I didn't even like to. I pulled them all out. I'm like, I'm going to do it. And then I was like, no, forget it. I've got too much to read. I'm not bothering. So I wouldn't pick it up. Maybe you will. Maybe I followed it this whole time. I know that Chaos likes it.
Yes.
So people enjoy it, but not me.
All right, guys. I think you should pick it up. She thinks you should skip it. But let's move into the actual issue, or the 9th book that you guys should be picking up. All right, guys, the 9th book that we think you guys should be picking up, or at least considering to put on your pull list, is Shadow Service.
Number 1.
Number 1. This is the number 1 issue of a new indie book. Our good friend, Mr. David Andre, suggested that we be picking this book up, and we are definitely going to do that. And yeah, it's about a witch who is a private eye. That's pretty cool. And there's obviously going to be, like, you know,
Apparently she like fights things in the underworld, or the things from the underworld come up and she fights them. Whichever way, it sounds pretty cool. And if David Andrew tells me to do it, I'm doing it.
We're gonna do it. So yeah, so Shadow Service. There's a couple covers. I pretty much prefer cover A. I think that's the coolest cover that I found online. But you know, there's always variant covers that sneak in that are way cooler. But we definitely think you guys should consider, if you like witches, you like private eye investigative type stories, definitely consider picking this up because there's going to be some cool elements to it. And yeah, we're going to review it on the channel, so stay tuned for that.
Word.
All right, word to Big Bird. We're on to number 10. All right, guys, if we're counting correctly, this is actually number 10. Yes,
Maybe,
we can do it.
Maybe.
But yeah, this is the 10th book that we think you guys should consider putting it on your pull list or picking up next week. And that is The Plot, number 6. Now, we're going to be completely honest.
We haven't read any of them.
Nope, not a single one. So why are we putting in this on the list? Well, again, we're going to talk about David Andrew. David Andrew is the writer of Resident, and he's a good friend. He's been on the channel multiple times. And his friend, Tim Daniels, is the artist or writer?
The co-writer.
The co-writer on this book. And yes, he talks very highly about him. And so we are going to, at some point, probably just pick this up and trade, give it a read, because, you know, we want to support people who are associated with David Andrew.
Yeah, Tim Daniels seems like a cool guy. We have followed him on Twitter. It's by Vault, which can't go wrong there.
No.
And it seems like a cool story. It's a horror story, which we also enjoy.
Yes.
And if you read a quick little description on the Vault website, he does explain that it's the most emotional horror story they've ever written. It's a really cool description. It really pulls me in. I'm surprised that I didn't think of reading this earlier with how much interaction we have with David Andrew online. I don't know how I missed it, but apparently I did. And Bruce says he's been talking about it. So now we shall go back and read it all and let you know. And I'm sure it's amazing. So
yeah.
You should pick it up.
You should pick it up. So, yeah, those are our 10 books. Guys, we're going to ask you to do something. That's right. Let us know. Are you guys picking up any of these books? If you are, if you guys think every single book on this list is right, let us know down in the comments below. If you think we're wacky in suggesting that you guys pick up any of these books,
what is wrong with you people?
Let us know down in the comments below. Because, yeah, this is all about engaging with you guys. So let us know if we're right, if we're wrong. Anything else?
All the things we told you before. Subscribe. Smash that like button. Turn on the bell notifications. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
Yeah, make sure you guys read the books that you picked up yesterday or the day before. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.